Playoff time is upon us, and the time has come to predict and preview another first-round matchup in the Central Division. Hey, this is Billy from Puck Rivals, and this is the next video in the 2021 first-round playoff series, this time covering the I-40 matchup between the Nashville Predators and the Carolina Hurricanes. Nashville comes into the playoffs on a hot streak, including 2 wins versus Carolina after struggling early on in the season. The Hurricanes head into the series atop the Central Division and will be looking to make a much better showing than last year's playoffs, which they know they are capable of. In this video, you will find a head-to-head matchup of these teams, the key players for each team in this matchup, and I will reveal who both Matt and I think will take the cake. Leave a comment on who you think will come out on top for the series, and with that said, we will begin the team comparison between the Preds and the Canes. Unlike previous years, the strictly divisional only play this season allows for a much greater snapshot of how these teams match up against one another. The Hurricanes took the season series in pretty convincing fashion, winning 6 of 8 games. However, the Predators did win the last 2 of the regular season. Examining the rest of the stats, Carolina comes out on top of every category over Nashville. They score at a much higher rate, they allow less goals, and their special teams are much better. That being said, Nashville may have started to figure them out in the last 2 games, with a close 3-1 victory to clinch and then a convincing 5-0 victory following. However, it's worth noting the Canes had already clinched first at that point, so they may have taken their foot off the gas a bit. Now let's move on to the key players for these squads, starting with Nashville's tendy, Juuse Saros. Saros and the Preds as a whole did not have the best of starts to their 2021 season, but once Saros found his game, he has been near unbeatable and has helped carry the Preds to the postseason. In 36 games this season, Saros won 21 games, finishing tied for 3rd in save percentage, and faced the 8th most shots in the league among goalies with at least 20 games played. That's pretty incredible. Against Carolina, Saros doesn't own a very pretty record, but his save percentage is pretty solid, so you know those losses probably weren't much of his fault. Saros should be nominated for the Vezina after his performance this season, so it's pretty hard to not have a goalie of that caliber as the key player. Nashville doesn't score like crazy, so they'll need their star goaltender to keep them in games against this highly skilled Carolina team, and I'm sure he's up to the task. Looking at the key player for the Hurricanes, it's their first-line centerman, Sebastian Aho. He's their best forward. He led the team in points 4 years in a row, while also killing penalties and being solid defensively. Aho will be looked upon to try and lead the offense against a Nashville team who has a solid D-core and an extremely hot goalie. He makes his teammates better, as his usual line mates of Teravainen and Svechnikov have worse underlying numbers without him. Since Carolina is usually in the East and Nashville in the West, he doesn't have a ton of games against them, but has been able to put up a point per game, which is right on brand for him. The Hurricanes have many other weapons on their team, both offensively and defensively, but if they want to solve Saros, they'll need their best forward to lead the charge. These 2 players will be key for their team's success, but obviously aren't the be-all and end-all. For Nashville, they have one of the best D-cores in the league, led by their captain Roman Josi, who won the Norris Trophy just last year. Between him, Ryan Ellis, and Mattias Ekholm, that is one talented defense who can make life for Saros easier. Those guys will be seeing a lot of minutes against the top line of the Canes. The Predators' forwards, however, will need to step up their game. Philip Forsberg, who is a great player, only played 39 games this season, but finished first among forwards in points with 32. Next best was Calle Jarnkrok with 28 and 49. Yikes. Scoring has been an issue for Nashville over the last few years, so they really need more than Forsberg to step up, but it will be difficult against that Carolina defense. As for Carolina, they are a deep team, both offensively and defensively. They have 6 forwards who have more points than all of the Preds forwards, and their defense is also one of the best in the league, like Nashville. Probably even better. Goaltending is the only thing about the Hurricanes that might be a problem, but Mrazek and Nedeljkovic have been very good this year when they've been in the net. Plus, they aren't facing a real potent offense. The key for the Hurricanes will be to extinguish Nashville's momentum and solving arguably the hottest goalie in the league. Now, who do we think will come out on top in this series? If you're not aware, last year Matt and I made our picks together, but this year we decided it would be best to share each of our own picks for each matchup. I personally believe the Hurricanes will still ultimately come out on top, but I also think Nashville will give them a good challenge that may surprise some people. As for Matt, he has the Predators coming out as the victors, as he is rolling with the hot team going into the playoffs. While the stats may show this as a completely lopsided affair, I don't really think it should be taken that way, and I think it will be closer than people think. Carolina is a phenomenal team, but all it takes is a hot team and goalie, like Nashville has, to end their season. There are no easy matchups when it comes to playoff hockey. This will be a great series with one of the best teams from the season, and a team who is playing their best hockey all year. Do you agree with our predictions for this series? Let us know down below in the comments, and who your favorite to win the cup is. Keep an eye out for more first round playoff previews and predictions, as we've got you covered. If you enjoyed this video and are pumped for playoff hockey, make sure to hit that like button, and subscribe if you love hockey for more content. This has been Billy from Puck Rivals, and I'll see you in the next playoff preview.